But I think there is a gray area of how to manage the feeling of urgency versus complacency. And it's like, there's not one or the other, but it's definitely a balance. Yeah, I don't know if I've perfected it, but if you lose all sense of urgency, there's just things float. I mean, they'll float forever. There's just no sense of getting it done today versus next week. But if you're constantly like that, you definitely create an environment which only certain people will want to stay. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. I guess it depends on the type of business you're setting up. Have you thought about that, Stephen, of how you do that in Campus Inc? Because you obviously, you're pushing new stuff. You did this Purdue pop-up I saw online. I'm sure that, not out of left field, but, it
was out of left
wasn't
field.
The regular stuff that you guys are doing.
The reputation that I have at Campus Inc. is you might wake up and there might be something new that's launching. That's pretty common. And I will push people out of their comfort zone. For me, the thrill is figuring it out as you go. That's a thrill for me. Mm-hmm. We're just going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. And for other people, it can stress them out a ton. But as a company that's growing, we're trying to grow at a pretty fast pace. We're trying to innovate at a pretty fast pace. Sometimes I have to gamble and roll the dice and say, hit the press. We're doing this. Send it out. We're going. When I force the team to do that, for instance, we have a new program where we are putting heat presses in retail stores to allow fans to customize their merch on demand. So we're basically sending transfers, blanks, kiosks, all that stuff. And we took it to a trade show and my team's like, how are we going? I have so many questions. I'm like, don't worry about that. Just sell it. And what's cool is when we got back, we sold it. We did really well with it. And now every week we have, the next 4 to 5 months to develop it. If I didn't have the kind of the gambling kind of mentality, that risk-taking mentality, just kind of push it out in the universe, we could spend 4 months trying to perfect it before ever launching it. So I'm of the camp that you should launch as early as you possibly can. And when you put it out in space, it puts more pressure on you to either figure it out or not figure it out. Right? It's like good pressure. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that because I've been guilty of that in the past, especially since I'm a tech person, is you'll start building something and you try to perfect it, or you might build something that none of your customers even ask for it, but you think it's a cool idea. And then you could spend weeks and months doing that. So then you have to just take a step back and also think did anyone ask for this? Do customers want this or not? But from another point of view is, yeah, like Stephen said, I like this way of we're doing this and we'll figure it along the way. And that a little bit of that stress also, I think, changes how you think when you're under pressure. And I think you might get better outcomes as well.
Agree. Alex at automations.io